Hello everyone and welcome to IQchess. I hope you're having a fantastic day and thank you so much for joining me in today's video. In this video, I'm going to be showcasing a game I played at 96% accuracy. This is a dream for so many people, so let's live it together. The game began with d4. I responded with d5, bishop to f4, the London system. This is one of the most infuriating openings to play against, but recently I made a YouTube video on how to refute the London system with the Steinitz counter gambit. I will link the video down in the description for your reference. Here we had the move of e3 from the opponent, c takes on d4, e takes on d4, and knight to c6. This is a typical exchange Caro-Kann pawn structure, but for some reason there's a bishop on f4 which is not supposed to be there. Traditionally in the Caro-Kann positions, there's a bishop on d3 and a pawn on c3. However, this is not too bad anyway. Here my opponent actually knows what to do. They play the move of c3. Of course, they are 1800, so what more can I expect? I played bishop to f5, developing my bishop and preparing to play the move of e6. Here we had bishop to d3 offering a trade, which I accept, and after queen takes, I play the move of e6, preparing to develop my dark square bishop. My opponent plays knight to f3, knight to f6, nothing fancy, knight bd2, and here I played bishop to d6, offering a trade of bishops. My opponent refuses, and here he plays the move of knight to e5, jumping the knight into the center of the board. Here I see this move and I immediately go for knight to h5, attacking the bishop. The bishop goes back and I take. Here usually London players or anyone in general would take with the h pawn because that's what they are taught to do. Keep your pawns connected and open your rook for later. You can always castle long, and this is a very solid pawn structure. However, my opponent chooses to take with the queen, and this is where they start to go wrong because this puts the queen directly in the line of sight of the bishop. Now, I can't really rush the move of f6. I lose the pawn and I lose the game. So I'm supposed to castle, but I got super excited and I played the move of queen to f6, which is, by the way, the only inaccuracy I made in the entire game. Here, obviously, this is not a good move because, well, why? I should just castle and play the move of f6. But here my opponent panics and he plays the move of queen to e3, which is bad. Here we have knight takes, pawn takes, and I play queen takes, forcing a queen trade basically, and we reach this position where I am up a pawn. But the problem for so many people is that they reach positions which are either winning or completely winning, but they cannot convert it. And here's how you can practically do it consistently in every game. Here my opponent plays knight to f3, developing their knight back to center of the board, and I play bishop to f6, putting my bishop to safety. Now, you have to identify where the play lies. This is a queenless endgame basically. We have rooks and bishop versus rooks and knight. And in these positions, your king safety is not as much of priority because, well, if the opponent's rook cannot get to your 7th rank, you are basically safe. My opponent castles here and I play the move of king to e7. I prefer to keep my king in center of the board because later down the line, if we ever trade the rooks, this king is far more active. Okay, here my opponent plays the move of rook f to e1 and I play the move of rook a c8. The idea of rook end games is to get your rook to the opponent's 2nd rank. If my rook ever ends up here, both the rooks, I eat everything, I win the game on the spot. So let's see how I made it. My opponent plays the move of rook a d1, attacking my pawn, which is a threat by the way. I can't just rush anything. So I played the move of rook to d8. In this position, the most crucial point for me is to somehow manage to get a pawn break on d4. This push, if I can do it successfully, will enable me to do so much. So after my opponent plays the move of g3, which is okay, giving some breathing room for their king, I suppose, I played the move of rook to c4, which is the best move. This move prepares the move of d4. My opponent puts the knight here, which is not really a good move because, well, they think knight here just blockades everything. But I just snap take it, and after the recapture, I can now double the rooks and reach the 7th rank. My opponent plays rook to d3. We have rook to c2. we have a rook to b3 attacking this pawn, so I respond with b6. My opponent here plays the move of rook to b5, once again threatening to take this pawn. However, at this point, I am confident that I can just get my rooks here and be fine. So I played the move of rook to d2. We had rook takes on d5 and rook c2. Here my opponent plays the move of rook to b5 once again for some reason. And here, well, it's fairly simple. Rook takes on f2 and this pawn falls, this pawn falls, this pawn falls, and my opponent basically loses, which they promptly do so by playing the move of rook to f5, just completely hanging the rook. But we can't blame them. This is just a completely lost endgame anyway. So here my opponent resigned and I won a game that lasted for 28 moves with 96% accuracy. And funnily enough, chess.com thought I'm rated 2400. That was the rating I got. The predicted ELO in this game was 2800, and I had a great opening, great middle game, and basically picture perfect end game. So yeah, that is it for today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did so, leave a nice comment, share the video with your friends if you feel it's worth it, subscribe to my channel for more such amazing videos. I'll see you guys soon. Till then, take care.